So this is what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at the reading questions of the English language paper, and that's the Cambridge International paper. Now, unfortunately, because there is a new syllabus, that means there's a new exam, there aren't many past papers. So today we're going to be looking at some example questions that are very similar to the exam itself. Here is the exam paper that you are used to seeing. The Cambridge International Examinations, Paper 1, Reading Passages, Core. This is a paper that you have completed before for your mocks, and so you should be used to seeing question 1 all the way down to 1G, and then you have question 2, and then you also have question 3. Today we are just going to focus on question 1. Question 1 is mainly made up of short answers, and these are the assessment objectives that you are going to be assessed by. We're going to be looking at questions based on this passage today, and it's about a journey through the Tiger Leaping Gorge in the Himalaya. Tiger Leaping Gorge. The writer describes a journey through a wild part of the Yangtze Valley in the Himalaya. The name of the gorge refers to a legend that a tiger once leapt across it. As the evening light slants across the gorge, a terrific panorama unfolds. On the other side of the gorge, the Jade Dragon Snow Mountains rise in a series of smooth columns, winding ravines and needle-sharp pinnacles, their dark grey sides streaked with waterfalls. What makes this place different from other mountains in the Himalaya is that the tremendous height is so close to us. When I stop on a narrow ledge to look around me, I find myself having to plant my feet very securely. It feels as if the mountain walls across the valley are exerting some kind of magnetic force, trying to tear me from my narrow ledge. No one speaks now, and we plod onwards round the mountainside, silenced by the sheer size of the place. There is only the reassuring sound of horse bells and the distant hiss of the river far below. The track continues north, clinging to the side of the rock face. The Yangtze is a boiling froth 4,000 feet below. At one point, a sizable waterfall comes bouncing off the rocks above us, and we have to pick our way beneath it, over 50 yards of wet stones. I'm most concerned about the horses, but they're a lot more sure-footed than I am. The stony, slippery path reaches its narrowest point. The other side of the gorge seems so close that perhaps a tiger might just have made it after all. Then we're descending fast on steep and potentially lethal tracks of crumbling, chalky rock past bulky rhododendron bushes. An almost unstoppable momentum delivers us eventually to the river as it emerges from the gorge. It's 100 yards wide here, and the green stream twists and turns and swirls between banks of light brown boulders. We've been told that a ferry boat crosses here, but it seems highly unlikely. There are no moorings or jetties, and the water looks decidedly tricky. Then I make out some movement on the far bank, and a small, steel-bodied boat emerges from beneath the shadow of a colossal overhang, runs in towards us, and docks by ramming its back end between the rocks. Painted lettering on a metal arch at one end of the boat, announces it to be the Tiger Leaping Gorge ferry. We clamber in, and a man with a long bamboo pole pushes the boat out into the Yangtze River with a flourish. The boat seems very fragile all of a sudden. Its two outboard motors do their best, but the current seems in control and swings us downstream beneath the overhang, where it's very hot and quiet, very quiet. For a moment, I'm anxious. The power of the river and the power of the boat seem unfairly matched. The towering rock face above us offers no comfort. The outboards surge, choke, and surge again, but we make progress against the current, and soon we're grinding up onto a gritty beach. An hour later, we've climbed up to where the vehicles are waiting, and I look back at the Yangtze River, silvery in the twilight and calm and serene now after the terrifying experience of the gorge, and I turn my back on it with a pang of regret. Here are the questions that we're going to look at. These questions are written in a similar style to the questions that you will have in your exam paper. Remember, this is what the exam paper will actually look like, and we are focusing on skills for question 1. This resource has the same type of questions, but instead of having letters, it's got numbers. For all of these questions, you should spend about 35 minutes. You will spend 5 minutes reading and 30 minutes answering the questions. Have a look at the first question. From paragraph 1, explain why the writer found this place different from other parts of the Himalaya. Notice it doesn't really say use your own words, and it's only worth 1 mark. With a question like this, you don't need to spend a lot of time on it. You're going to want to look at exactly what the question is asking. So it's asking for paragraph 1. So we focus on paragraph 1 and why the writer found this place different. What you need to make sure you do is go to paragraph 1 and only paragraph 1. This is where we'll find paragraph 1. It asked you in the question to look at something that is different. It's important to look at keywords. So if you have the word different here, you will probably find the word different here. On to the second part. Explain, using your own words, the feelings the writer experienced when he stopped on the narrow ledge. This bit is very important, using your own words. You must make sure that you say things in a different way. Use synonyms. The feelings the writer experienced when he stopped on the narrow ledge. It says narrow ledge. Again, using your keywords, you're going to want to look for that phrase there. It's worth 2 marks, so you're going to want to write a little bit more. From paragraph 5, give 2 reasons why the writer thinks that the track by the rhododendron bushes is dangerous. Rhododendron is a type of flower. From paragraph 5, so we need to find paragraph 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from means everything from this paragraph. That's what we need to look at. Give 2 reasons why the writer thinks that the track by the rhododendron bushes is dangerous. It's only asking for the track that is by the bushes. And it's only worth 2 marks. So don't spend a lot of time writing it. Just give your 2 reasons. From paragraph 9, again, we need to find paragraph 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. From paragraph 9. There's not much to read there. Explain, using your own words, why the writer is concerned that the ferry boat may not successfully cross the river. The writer is concerned that the ferry boat may not successfully go across the river. Use your own words. When we're using our own words, you will need to write in sentences. Look at the next question. State. When it says state, that means that you need to just give examples. Tell us. Make it clear, make it obvious. 2 things that the writer found frightening. 2 things. Writer found frightening. You don't need to say a lot, just the main, clear, obvious points. You'll get 1 mark for each. 2 things which he found enjoyable about it, about his journey. You just state them. You just write them down. Number 6 is an important one here. Now, what is number 6 here in the real exam will be question G in the actual exam. And you'll see that question G here has 2 sections to it, and it asks you to explain, using your own words, what the writer means by the words in italics in 3 of the following phrases. So you are going to have to explain any 3 of these phrases here. Then there is a second part where you have to explain how the words and the language help to suggest their enthusiasm. What that means is, what job do they do? Or how do they do their job? Question G is worth 9 marks in the real exam. This type of question is going to be very important to you.